Hello, hello, wherever you are in the world. My name is AnYes van Rhijn. I'm the owner of Success on Your Own Terms, where I am a life and business reinvention mentor for women who are stuck at crossroads. I help them step into the power and into the seat of their life so that they can reinvent it. My website is www.anyesvanrhijn.com, and that is AnYesvanRhijn.com. I'm also the founder of the Woman Who Makes Things Happen show. Today, I'm absolutely delighted to be interviewing someone who does, well, I would say in essence the same. I think we both have the same mission in life, and it really is fascinating to be talking to her. Millen Livis is an author and soul-centered transformational coach. As a former Wall Street executive and now a successful entrepreneur, she draws on her life experience, teachings, and personal transformation to help others create and embody the highest vision for their work and life. Her message to the world is one of hope and possibilities, and she is often referred to as a possibilities catalyst. In her new book, A Shift Toward Purpose, Secrets to an Amazing Career, Millen shares nuggets of wisdom, personal success habits, and strategies that she used herself and that helped her to create an incredibly blessed life. Millen, welcome to the Woman Who Makes Things Happen show. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to be with you and your listeners today.
We do have a lot in common. I love we've obviously been speaking before the interview, and I really love to see that there are women like you in the world, because obviously I cannot do it alone. We need more of us. So tell us the beginning of your story. How did it all started?
How did it all started? I grew up in a family where education was very important. So when I was 6 years old, I decided that I want to be a physicist because I wanted to understand how the world works, why people do what they do, how they make the decisions. And for some reason, I thought that studying physics was the best way of doing that. Well, I got my degree in physics, and then things happened. I was living in Lithuania at that time, and we decided that we want to leave the country. It was very challenging. We came to the United States 25 years ago without any possessions, without speaking language well. So in order to support my family, I started working in a flower shop as a florist. Mm-hmm. And I know that during this time, I had the feelings that how come, I'm highly educated physicist and I work as a florist, and I had this kind of thoughts that it's not fair. And then I realized that it's very honorable to be in a position where I can support my family. Mm-hmm. And that was the beginning of, I guess, personal growth when I realized that, you know what, every job is honorable job. As long as this is something that allows you to support yourself and your family. So I don't have this snobbish attitude toward any job. If it's something that you have to do right now to support yourself, to support the people you love, then that's what you have to do. But mm-hmm. It doesn't mean that you're going to be there for the rest of your life.
Of course
every job could be just a stepping stone to the next job that could ultimately lead you to your dream job.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so from there, where did you go?
Well, during this time, for 1 year, I was studying English so I could communicate well, and I expanded my computer skills. And in 1 year, I became a computer consultant for Millen Livis. It's a large brokerage company in the United States. And then from there, I changed the companies. I was always working on Wall Street. I worked for American Express, Deutsche Bank, Morgan Stanley, Bankers Trust, etc. So that was for many years. And then at some point I started to feel that this is not something that really fulfills me, excites me. And this feeling of being numb about my work and about my life in general started to expand. And it was very uncomfortable, because on the surface everything seemed to be perfect. I had prestigious profession. I was living in the suburbs in a beautiful house. I was loved, I was respected, but the fulfillment part was missing. And it started from a little seed, like, I feel like I'm not alive inside. And then from there, I started, I guess, the quest for meaning and fulfillment began. And after that, about the same time my marriage was falling apart, I moved out. I rented a small apartment near New York City. And then I said, I was always curious about psychology and business. And I decided to, at that moment, I decided to go to business school. So I studied, I was preparing to apply to business schools. I was in my 40s at that time. And I was so afraid that nobody would accept me because I was old, because I was, my English was not my native language. And so just in case, I applied to 5 business schools and I was accepted.
Let's play it safe.
Yes. So, and I was thrilled that I was accepted to this school. I felt that I'm smart, I'm capable, and everything was great. Then 2 years later, I graduated. I got my MBA degree from Wharton Business School, but I was not clear what I want to do. I realized that I was not clear what I want to do before I went to business school. And now I had this prestigious degree. I did not want to go back to the work that I used to do before, because it was not fulfilling then, and it would not be fulfilling now. But it was challenging because I couldn't find any other work. And my family was disappointed because they felt that I could do very well doing what I used to do, just at the high level, and make very good money and be happy. But why can't you be happy?
I could almost tell the same story. I mean, 25 years of corporate experience, and then all of a sudden that feeling of feeling empty, there must be more to life, and in appearance everything was perfect, and and then I started studying coaching, and I started rolling into it. But as you described, I wasn't clear when I started it why I wanted to do it. So I could tell the same story.
I know. That's why right now I realize that I always ask myself, why do you want that? Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to move there? Like, this clarity is so important. So anyway, I started my own business, real estate business. And at the beginning, it was very, very challenging. Then it started growing. And at some point I said, okay, that's more exciting because I was combining business and psychology. I was dealing with people, I was helping people. But then something else started to take precedence in my focus, I guess. I really realized that it's important for me to contribute to other people's lives, to other women, to help other women, to serve them with my guidance and help them to live prosperous lives. Because now I live in 2 countries. I live in France and in the United States. I travel all the time. I work from any place I want to work, which I call laptop life. And I feel that doing what I do right now is my purpose. That's how I feel right now. And frankly, I don't know. We evolve over time, and maybe something else will be more interesting for me in the future. I don't know. I never say never. But for now, I feel that that's what excites me. That's what drives me to see the impact that I can make in other people's lives when they realize that I can do it. I'm smart. I'm capable. I have possibilities around me. Just helping people to see the world from the place of fullness, from the place of possibilities versus lack and disadvantage. So that's what excites me now. That's what I do.
So if we look back at your journey, the way you described it, one of the essential things that comes out of what you're just saying is that, you started with a lack of fulfillment. Something was missing. And from there, you walked into a lack of clarity. And so these are, if I understand you right, the main challenges that you have been facing, of course, others as well. But how did you at some point find your purpose?
That's what I wrote the book about.
See, we are going to talk about your book.
It was a moment in my life when I really hit the bottom, so to speak. I was deeply depressed. I was lost. I felt stuck. I had no idea what's next for me in life. And I call it now divine crisis, because that was a turning point for me. And that's when I realized that there are ways to mine your purpose, because the purpose and the way to live a fulfilling life is hidden in you, in your body. And there is a way to mine this information from you. You cannot get this by asking your friend, what do you think I should do? You cannot get this by asking your parents or whoever. You have to find it in your body. So there are different ways to do that. And I call it finding your what. But just if I may step back a little bit, there are different phases in the transition from being stuck to being found. So the first one, I would say, is acceptance of where you are, because a lot of people struggle because they compare themselves with others, and why she achieved this and I am still here. You have to start with acceptance, otherwise you will just get yourself sick. So that's the first. Accept and surrender to where you are right now, knowing that it doesn't have to be like that all the time. Sure. So the next step would be to find, what do you really want, what your desires are. And there are different exercises that I offer in my book, how to find this what. For example, pay attention to what kind of books you like to read. Like, look at your library at home if you have one, or what do you like to read. That could be very, very telling already, because like in my library, I have a lot of metaphysical books, a lot of books about psychology, coaching. So that was one clue. Another thing is to notice, like if you meet people, or just pay attention to different professions, and zoom on one profession and see how you feel. Like, for example, I want to be a therapist. How do you feel in your body? Like, do you feel expansion, like, wow, this is exciting, I want to be a therapist? Or I want to
cringing.
Or for example, I want to be a financial analyst. Not really, right? So just write down different profession that kind of maybe you can consider, and then focus on different profession and see how you feel. So that's another thing. And I recommend to write list of profession, and also write benefits and challenges of each profession. Because you have everything has a front and a back.
Of course.
Every profession,
Two
right?
sides of the coin.
Always. So that's very important. And I always emphasize, when you feel that you want something, be very clear why you want that. Because if you want to be a nurse just because it's easy to find a job, it may not be the good reason to, to, to focus on this profession. Or if you want to work for brokerage company, prestigious brokerage company, because you know that people make a lot of money that work for banks and brokerages, that might not be also the most important reason, because it comes with other things that you may not want to do or to be surrounded by. So the next very important exercise that I also offer and believe in is a guided visualization. And that's what I was doing when I was in the place of being stuck and being lost, and just really scary place, very fearful. That's what I was doing. I was doing guided visualization with myself, where I would imagine, for example, okay, what do I want to do? Maybe I want to be a nurse, for example, right? So, because I would write benefits and challenges of each profession, and I would visualize myself, I would visualize the ambience, like I come to the hospital where I work, and I have people around me that may be in pain or suffering and need my attention, and I have to give my all to these people, because that's what I do. That's my responsibility. And then I have to participate maybe in some meetings where there are discussions that I may not be able to contribute to, because I don't have MD behind my name. And then you might be, as a nurse, you might be required to be available 24 hours a day, sometimes on certain days. So, but there are challenges. There are benefits of this profession. You helping people, easy to find a job. You're well compensated. So you have to put yourself in this environment, including the sounds, the entire ambience,
the
fragments.
Use all senses.
Yes, involve all your senses and see how your body reacts. Your body will give you the answer.
Absolutely.
So that's what I was doing, and it was very powerful. And that's what I do right now with my clients. I recorded several guided visualization and guided meditation on my website, where I offered this to my followers. And then another exercise that I suggest that I've done, I was praying. I was praying to God and asking Him to show me the way where I could find what I can do to contribute to this world, what I could do that would be bigger than me. That would allow me to be clear how my life contributes to the world. And I offer my prayers in my book as well. I offer several prayers that I use during this time. And I just want to say that don't expect that things will change overnight. But once you become very clear about what is it that you want, and you focus on that, not on what is lacking in your life, what is missing, and like really finding the strength in you to be grateful for what you have, whatever it is. Being able to walk, because some people cannot. Being able to breathe, because some people cannot. Having food on the table, having friends, being loved. There are so many things that we can be grateful for. So once you start shifting your focus toward what you have in life, things will start changing. And things started changing for me too. Very slowly, I started to be more positive, more open, and my life started to unravel from this very, very complicated, very painful situation. And I realized that the growth could be painful, and the change could be painful, but there is nothing more painful than being stuck where you don't belong.
Oh, I love that. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I don't really have regrets, and since early age, I remember I always felt that I would rather make a mistake than to live with the regret, because every time, every mistake in a way, it's a feedback, right? You can call it failure or you can call it feedback, and then you course correct.
You sure we're not sisters or something? That is so true. And what I find interesting for people listening is that whatever transformation you will be going through, exactly as Millen is saying, it is a journey. It's not because you found your way that it will be easy, but it's so worth it. And it's such a growth process. You're learning so much from it, as long as you see and you look at it from the angle of what am I learning from it, as opposed to complaining about something that went wrong again or something. I always say to my clients, be a little Edison. If that lamp bulb didn't work, look at it, see what didn't work, and make a new one and get started all over again. It's it's fascinating what you're saying. I really love that.
It's really important not to give up, because in life sometimes you zig and zag, and until you really navigate toward what is right for you. And it's not always easy to know exactly, like it's not a linear function of luck and effort. Like some people say, oh, you're so lucky. No, it's not.
Of course not.
It's much more than luck. It's determination, it's perseverance, it's inner strength, and belief that one day you will have your day of celebration. I have this phrase that I use sometimes for me, and I recommend others to use. I will have my day of celebration. When I'm going through the challenging time, I remind myself that I will have my day of celebration. Yeah. So everybody, I think it helps when you have some phrase that helps you to be hopeful again. So I recommend other women also find something that when you're going through a challenging time, uplift yourself, because you have to learn that you are your best friend. Even though you may have friends around that could help you, you may not. You may have family around, you may not. You have to become your best friend, and you need to find a way to uplift yourself. And if you can uplift yourself by your life, your work, you can uplift others. And your life matters, because every little effort, every little gesture of kindness and love may make a difference in someone else's life.
Absolutely. Oh, so true. Yes, definitely. You know what I do for to stay connected? What I tell my clients to do, because it's so easy. We're human beings to get off track and not wanting to pursue at some point, etc. I ask them. So once they've identified the why they want to do something, I asked them to find an image of it. So I remember that for me, when I started working on that, the image I had was a firework. So I looked up a picture of a firework, and on strategic places in my house, etc., on my nightstand, I'm having that picture. And so when I'm feeling disconnected, by looking at what that means for me, I remember why, and with that, I can say, okay, I'm picking it up again. And so, we're human beings. It's normal. But I think that one very important thing you're saying is don't give up. I mean, life is challenging. There will be things in the way, but don't give up. Don't give up. You're so right. Yeah, that's a key
life is challenging, but it's also, life is short. And you don't want to feel at the end of your life, and we all will die, obviously. You don't want to feel that, I was always thinking about trying that and
exactly.
doing that. why didn't I try? You don't want that, right? So why don't you try? And if you feel that it was not the right move, then you can always correct, right? Like I said, right now, I am enjoying living my life, doing the work that I do with women, being a coach. I don't know, maybe in 5 years I will want to become, I don't know, someone else.
And of course.
Because I like to stay open, and I like to be aware of what I feel about certain things. And I honor my feelings, and I think every woman should be honest.
Do that, yeah.
Should be honest with herself and honor what she feels, because sometimes there's a divine sign. Turn left, turn right, go straight.
Yeah, I think this whole notion of adaptability also. And the other thing that I find extremely interesting in what you're saying, and you referenced to it quite a few times during this conversation, is to listen to your body, because your body tells you so much. But most people don't. Most of us have not learned to listen to our body, but it sends us signals all the time.
I couldn't agree with you more, because I think I mentioned to you that I actually got into a car accident during my
tour. You did tell me.
And I was not listening. I was not well. I was not sleeping well, and I was pushing myself. And that was clearly wrong, because only when the trauma that I experienced after this car accident forced me to stop, forced me to really pay attention to what is going on with my body. I changed my diet. I had to change my entire lifestyle. I couldn't play tennis anymore. I couldn't do yoga every day anymore. It was a very drastic change and very traumatic for me. But I also learned that, you know what, that's where you are right now. And you have to adjust, and you have to accept, and you have to surrender to where you are now. It doesn't mean that it's going to be like that for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. We don't have much time left. Is there anything you would want to add? Because we have indirectly spoken about your book, because we're talking about the content of your book, what you're talking about, and also you were giving a lot of tips already that women can be using. But is there anything else you would like to add?
I have a lot of free information on my website. The name of my website is Dare to Change Life, D-A-R-E, daretochange.life.com, as well as on my Facebook. My page is Dare to Change Life. So I invite your listeners to take a look. I offer a lot of free resources there. My book is available on Amazon now. The name is A Shift Toward Purpose, and I offer free audiobook that comes with this. So everybody who gets the book gets a free audiobook, and it's awesome. I have to tell you, I was listening, I downloaded it on my phone, and I was walking, listening to my book, and I was crying and saying, I wrote this? Really?
I need to contact this woman. She's writing great stuff.
Yes. And just, if I could just say one last thing, I want your listeners to remember, I want them to uncover the strengths that they have, and use these strengths to serve their vision. It's very important to live in integrity with your dreams, because any success without fulfillment doesn't feel right. Absolutely. I think it was Tony Robbins that mentioned something. I'm paraphrasing him. I don't remember exactly, but I think he said that success without fulfillment doesn't feel good, or something like that. I don't remember. I agree with this.
You probably have heard also, it's not the first time that I'm citing him in the interview series. Brendon Burchard says that at the end of the life, there's only the answer to three questions that are important. Did I live? Did I love? And did I matter? And that's summarizing exactly what you're saying as well. Yeah.
Yes, I love that. I love that.
Super. So thank you so much for this interview. I've really, really enjoyed this conversation with you, and I'm sure we will be talking again. So for the listeners, the interview will be available for 1 week on my website. As I said, www.anyesvanrhijn.com, ANYESVANRHIJN.com. And after 1 week, you will, of course, be moved by the next guest and moved into the archives. But the archives of all the interviews are available to anyone. They just opt in, and from there they can access the I think that you are number 44, if I remember well. So there are quite a lot of interviews available already. Thank you again, and talk to you soon. Goodbye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.